In the fall of 2018, in a quiet suburb outside Portland, Oregon, 17-year-old Mia Harper moved with her mom into her late grandmother's old Victorian house after her parents' divorce. The place had been empty for 2 years since Grandma Evelyn passed from a sudden heart attack. Mia never knew her grandmother well. Evelyn had been distant, almost reclusive in her last decade. But the house felt heavy, like it was holding its breath. Mia claimed the attic bedroom because it had the best light for drawing. She was an art student, always sketching people, faces, little scenes from her life. The first week, she found an old leather-bound sketchbook tucked behind a dusty trunk labeled Evelyn Private. The pages were yellowed, filled with her grandmother's precise, almost clinical pencil drawings from the 1970s and 80s. Landscapes, flowers, portraits of neighbors. Nothing special at first. Then Mia flipped to a page dated June 12, 1984. It showed a young girl, maybe 10 years old, standing in a backyard, smiling, holding a balloon. The girl looked exactly like old family photos of Mia's own mother as a child. Underneath, in neat handwriting, "She won't come inside for dinner." The man in the gray coat took her smile. Mia laughed it off. Weird old lady stuff. But 2 pages later, another drawing. The same girl, now lying on grass, eyes wide open, staring at nothing. A shadow figure loomed over her, faceless, just a long coat. Dated the next day, June 13th. No caption. Mia showed her mom. Her mom went pale. "That was the summer I got lost in the woods behind the house for a whole afternoon. Some guy in a gray coat found me, walked me home. He seemed nice. But Mom freaked out when she saw him. Said he wasn't right. I never saw him again." Mia felt a chill but kept looking. The sketchbook had more. A drawing of a car crash on Highway 26, dated 1991. Twisted metal. A woman thrown from the driver's seat. Mia's aunt had died in exactly that kind of wreck on that exact stretch of road that year. Grandma had drawn the license plate number perfectly. Then came the one that made Mia's hands shake. Dated only 3 months before Evelyn's death in 2016. A girl who looked almost identical to Mia now. Same long dark hair, same small scar above her left eyebrow from a childhood fall. The girl was sitting at an attic desk drawing. Behind her, in the doorway, a tall figure in a gray coat. No face, just shadow. The girl was turning her head slightly, as if sensing it. Caption: "She sees me now. She draws me closer every time." Mia slammed the book shut. That night she dreamed of the attic door creaking open behind her while she sketched. She woke up sweating, convinced she heard footsteps on the stairs. The next morning, she tried to burn the sketchbook in the backyard fire pit. The pages wouldn't catch. They curled black at the edges but stayed intact. She threw it in the trash instead. That evening, the trash can was empty. The book was back on her desk, open to a fresh blank page. Mia started drawing again, compulsively. At first normal stuff. Self-portraits, trees, her cat. But every time she finished a piece, she'd notice small details she hadn't intended. A gray coat in the background of a park scene. A faceless shadow reflected in a window. One night she drew herself sleeping. When she woke up, the drawing had changed on its own. The girl in bed now had wide eyes, mouth open in a silent scream, and the gray coat figure stood right beside the pillow. She stopped sleeping in the attic, moved downstairs, but the drawings followed. She'd find new ones slipped under her door, her own hand, but she didn't remember making them. One showed her mom in the kitchen, knife in hand, but the blade was pointed at her own throat. Another, Mia walking home from school, the gray figure trailing just out of frame. On the last night, October 31st, 2018, Mia sat in the living room with every light on, the sketchbook locked in a drawer upstairs. Around 2 a.m., the power flickered. She heard soft footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming down the attic stairs. She ran to the front door, but it wouldn't open. Behind her, the drawer slid open by itself. The book fell to the floor, open to a new page she had never seen. It was her, right now, standing frozen in the living room, eyes huge with terror. Behind her, inches away, the The tall figure in the gray coat reached out with long, thin fingers. The caption in her own handwriting. She finally drew me all the way in. Mia turned. Nothing there. Just darkness. But when the police arrived the next morning, called by her mom who found the front door wide open and the house empty, they found only the sketchbook on the living room floor. The final drawing was still there. Mia's terrified face, the reaching hand, and in the background very faint, like it had been added last. A new girl, younger, sitting at an attic desk, starting to sketch. She's still drawing, and whatever she draws, it happens. The house is empty again. But sometimes, late at night, neighbors say they see a light in the attic window, and a shadow moving pencil in hand. Sweet dreams.